It begins in 2017, where a medical student from Cambridge University, now known as the Productivity King, started YouTube on his quest for financial freedom.
Annual memberships, which brings us to an overall grand total of £1,013,000, which for the Americans among us is $1.362 million US.
In which some would say he achieved this aim after grossing $1 million 3 years from starting. But it's not his video making skills alone that has allowed him to succeed academically and financially. It is his ability to be able to capitalize on what was in front of him. I am no mathematician, but the time he spent investing into his channel has allowed him to 50x his salary as a junior doctor. And I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure he might double it next year. And thus through him one can see the power of consumption and that of production when it comes to YouTube videos. So you may be thinking, doctors shouldn't be thinking about money. I thought doctors were only meant to save lives. But the truth of the matter is that when we boil down to our innate desires, a part of it is money. Some people claim that being a doctor allows one to gain cars, gain fame, and to gain the academics. Some people claim that being a doctor is one avenue to gain social status, gain your aspirations in aim of happiness, and gain your purpose. But as a Muslim, let me give you my perspective. A small minority see the profession like this, a profession in which brings you closer to Allah.
أني قد جئتكم بآية من ربكم أني أخلق لكم من الطين كهيئة الطير فأنفخ فيه فيكون طيرا بإذن الله وأبرئ الأكمه والأبرص وأحيي الموتى بإذن الله وأنبئكم بما تأكلون وما تدخرون في بيوتكم إن في ذلك لآية لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين.
Now, studying medicine isn't necessarily the most difficult of subjects. Some aspects can be difficult, like that of histology, the study of microscopic anatomy of biological tissue, and general anatomy, comprising of interconnection between veins and arteries and innervation from cranial nerves. At times, Wallahi can be sheets upon sheets for a specific module, all of which, when it comes to exam application, require good image recognition. However, by Allah's grace, support networks in Queen Mary, such as that of Bart's ISOC and MESS Society, mess, but it just sounds a little bit tap, can help you link concepts in your head that are potentially floating around and somehow like a puzzle piece them together, which I'm not gonna lie does save a lot of time so that you're not the first person in the library and the last person out. All in all, wallahi, I'm not gonna lie, medicine does help me appreciate the favors of Allah upon me, and naturally upon the Queen Mary spiral structure you begin to contemplate on your creation more and more so on specific modules, and such you realize with the intricate level of design, accepting something like a bottle creating itself is something that becomes absurd. We know a bottle is a product of knowledge, power, intent, and yet some people believe something more complex. Us humans have evolved from something like mere energy. And it brings me back to an ayah where Allah says,
وَفِي الْأَرْضِ آيَاتٌ لِلْمُوقِنِينَ وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ.
Now back to studying, sometimes you could feel lost. With no guidance and basically information overload via a ton of books, you naturally begin to feel like the world is falling on you. And one of the few things that I've learned is the importance to ask where necessary and to learn under a teacher. And for those that are a little bit weary, this is different from when Allah says,
تعرفهم بسيماهم لا يسألون الناس إلحافا.
And so the reason that I ask is so that it gives me a different perspective, as perhaps you may have struggled on a topic and now you've managed to find the right explanation, saving yourself time from a person who knows. Now, just a small benefit before we get back onto the vlog. One of the most hated things in Islam is bid'ah. Take this example. One man with one corrupted message, he passes his jurisprudent ruling, whether it be music is halal, a fatwa which appeals to people's desires more than having an intellectual basis behind the claim, and that one man spreads it to 7 people under his influence and he passes away. Then these people, without verifying this supposed knowledge, spread it to 7 people under their influence and they pass away. The cycle continues until factions of the religion spread and what was the origin of the religion is confused with that chance of the innovation. So much so that within 7 cycles, a total of over 800,000 are affected. Now everyone in this chain gets a sin, but the thing to highlight is the compound interest, sadaqah sayyi'ah, accumulated by the man who began the chain in the first place. So the one takeaway point is, don't carry people's sins and study your religion. And a little example, on the same day, the Emir of the Islamic Society had links to resources that Wallahi I was looking for. So it just shows when you try and you ask, inshallah things will work out. And soon I tried to get the Emir's voice on recording, because I don't know if he's gonna let me, but he knows Warsh as well as Hafs, and he got ijazah in them. So Allahumma barak, like honestly the guy's top tier.
For every single word?
Yeah, someone did it. It's quite big. I don't know where it is. It's a PDF file that's on the edges of WhatsApp.
Oh my god,
But
please get me that one.
I can try.
The edges of WhatsApp.
The book one is quite common.
Now medicine also forces you to actively look after your own health.
Alright guys, so we basically just finished our third set, alhamdulillah. Follow the sunnah and drink sitting down. But one of the most serious nasheeds coming on. It's on now. We'll do a couple of last sets, inshallah. Reps. It's getting real, it's getting real, it's getting real. Let's see. Come on. 10 more for Allah. 7 more. Oh, 5 more. 4 more. I like to listen to music in it, so alhamdulillah, man. This is serious.
Okay guys, so one thing that I will say is that if you want high vascularity, and I'm not saying this out of my own experience, I've got guys who look so, like Akis, who look so ripped, Allahumma barik. One of them, Dawood, may Allah bless him. But other Akis that are more ripped than him have the maddest of diets. So if you want to look massive, like colloquially, I mean like very vascular, you see the veins, and it just gives you that perception like that guy works out. It's diet. The 3 components, obviously, you know, sleep, diet, as well as working out. Any of them that get neglected, you'll ruin yourself. And there's a massive, like, for deen, for everything, for studies, you need mad health just to do it. No, you don't need mad health, but you should have very, very good health. And on top of that, working out, there's a reason. Dawood's going to mention it. He's going to hate me for this time, but inshallah ta'ala, you know, it's a real one. Do you understand? There's a reason why a man don't work out. But you know, that's about it.
And also the physique, like you get a good physique from it and stuff like that. And obviously we're 18 now and stuff like that, so you get into that. You get into that age. Okay. no, but yeah, obviously that's whether you say it or not, that's mainly why a lot of us go to the gym and stuff like that. And obviously, at the end of the day, from the Islamic side, approaching it from that perspective, you know, in terms of like these bodies are an amana, just the soul's ours, but the body's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you turn it in a better condition or in a good condition, you know, a lot of the time we think that as Muslims, you know, it's just worshipping Allah and we can eat how we want, but it's really not.
Wrestling is sunnah.
Yeah, 100%. Now, advent of UFC, everyone's learning how to grapple, whether it be guillotines, not the official wrestling guillotine, just in case people are thinking we're a little bit mad. And then other moves like double legs, all that sort of stuff. And I asked, I believe it was Abdurrahman Hassan, you know, if you guys know who Darman is, his teacher. So I asked him and I said to him, where is wrestling narrated in Sunnah? And he said, by the book Furusiyat Muhammadiyah. I believe it was Ibn Qayyim. Who mentioned it being a practice of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Now, when you cater for the physical body, the spiritual aspect must not be neglected. One thing that we learn from the brain and behavior module is the impact of cortisol on our brain, typically released from stress. I believe in aspects of spirituality, basically just being religious, I'm just putting like some fancy name, will allow for good mental health. For example, this hadith by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he says, "Unduru ila man huwa asfala minkum, wa la tanzuru ila man huwa fawqakum, fa huwa ajdaru alla tazdaru ni'mat Allah." Where he says, look at those below you and don't look at those loads above you, for it is the best way to not belittle the favours of Allah upon you. And this is narrated in Bukhari.
This is basically what happens to your hair when you're wearing a cap all day. And I've got a camera in the toilet and I'm just scared someone comes in and it's like, what are you doing with a camera? But it is what it is. Right now I'm going to have a shower. That's what people like to call it usually.
And for me, there's nothing better to remind you of Allah than your Muslimic brothers. Muslimic, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, there are banging reciters at QM. Before that, listen to my brother Dawood, Allahumma barik, my friend from time, and inshallah ta'ala.
لنبلونكم حتى نعلم المجاهدين منكم والصابرين ونبلو أخباركم ولنبلونكم حتى نعلم المجاهدين منكم والصابرين ونبلو أخباركم
وما ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى علمه شديد القوى ذو مرة فاستوى وهو بالأفق الأعلى ثم دنا فتدلى فكان قاب قوسين أو أدنى فأوحى إلى عبده ما أوحى ما كذب الفؤاد ما رأى.
And all in all, without realizing the effect of friendship, it essentially causes you to become more religious, more practicing.
Brothers, back here at 5:30 in the morning.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قال رب إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا فلم يزدهم دعائي إلا فرارا وإني كلما دعوتهم لتغفر لهم جعلوا أصابعهم في آذانهم واستغشوا ثيابهم وأسروا واستكبروا استكبارا ثم إني أعلنت لهم وأسررت لهم إسرارا. فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله 7 سماوات طباقا وجعل القمر فيهن نورا وجعل الشمس سراجا والله جعل لكم الأرض بساطا.
Just a quick reminder, man. Wallahi, if guys, you haven't prayed Isha, or you haven't read the Quran so far, do a little bit, man. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لا تحقرن من المعروف شيئا. Don't neglect any small good deed. No matter what it be, man, I'm telling you, whether it be small coffee for your mom, goodbye mom, you're the best mom in the world. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Just like gas it up, wallahi. So guys, you made it to the end of the video. Jazakallahu khair. Remember, I don't want you to like the video. I need you to like the video, inshallah ta'ala. And on top of that, if any of you guys need A-level or biology, chemistry or physics tuition, then do let me know. There's MedShock Instagram page that should be on screen as well. So go check that up, and inshallah ta'ala that does benefit the people that it does benefit. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.